Well, hello there. It's really good to see you along here again. Always nice to see you. And today we've got another box opening and review because I've been buying a few goodies. And without further ado, should we take a closer look? What we've got here today is one of the Dapol O-gauge wagons, and I've picked this up in preparation for the Garden Railway, which is coming along nicely, but lots of other things have kind of got in the way, as they always do, so progress isn't quite as fast as we would have liked. But we've got the catalogue reference number here, 7F054001, and this is a BR Meat van in the crimson livery, and this one in the shop actually I just thought was quite eye-catching, so I had to get it ready for when the Garden Railway becomes fully operational. But the boxes for these are very, very sturdy. You really feel like you're getting quite a good package here. Once we pull that out, just put the box out of the way. They're a bit like just a scaled up version of the 00 wagons in terms of the packaging. But I'm going to get this out here now and put all that to one side. But you can see here, there's the wagon with fully sprung buffers as well. So actually, let's get a really good look at that. Got to be quite careful. There's a lot more detail on these than you would be getting with the 00 versions, and it's such fine detail that actually, arguably, these are more likely to get damaged with handling, is my opinion. You know, that's not a downside, it just is how detailed these wagons are becoming. And they come with this 3-link couplings, so you have to be quite careful. These get tangled on themselves quite easily, but they are very effective. I've had these running at my father's house, and they do connect to each other really, really well, just with the standard 3-link couplings. As this wagon is a vacuum braked wagon, and we can see the full vacuum brake cylinder detail on the bottom there, it's actually really, really nicely done. We've also got vacuum pipes at either end, and what's interesting as well is there also appears to be a mounting point for alternative couplings, and I've yet to investigate what kind of couplings are available for O-gauge, but certainly if you want to add more practical couplings, then there is a mounting point on here for you to be able to do that. Underneath here as well, we've got the full representation of the chassis, and it's really nicely done, but the brake detail here is perfectly represented. We've got all of the proper push rods, the cams, and the brake blocks, and they match up with the wheel treads, and they're actually so close that they're inside the swept radius of the flanges as well. It's really nicely done. If I turn this on its side, you see we've also got these very delicate stretcher bars between the W-irons, and the reason for these on the full-size wagons was because when the brakes apply, you can see they'd be pushing the wheels apart. So the stretcher bar is to stop these W-irons from deforming and to actually aid the braking, and also stop the wagon chassis from becoming damaged over time. We've also got such fine detail on these W-irons and the leaf springs. They almost look like they could be individual leaves there, but it is all one moulding. But certainly it's really nicely done. And then we've got the brake lever. I'm not even sure, is that posable? I'm going to be very careful not to damage this, but I have a feeling, yeah, the brake lever, it may be posable. It feels like it doesn't want to turn on there, but I suspect that it's just a very tight fit. And certainly at this end, you can see that the brake lever is fairly free to move. I'm going to leave that be for now, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's probably posable. We've got some very fine detail for the chassis side rails there. Really nicely done in this almost like a satin black finish. It really works well. And then moving to the upper bodywork, we've got this really crisp detail in this eye-catching livery here with all the applicable vents. And even these doors, they look fine enough that they could theoretically open. They don't, but certainly the quality of the finish is second to none. On the ends, we've got the characteristic corrugated metal ends and also these ventilation vents. And this is the characteristic of the meat van, which makes them stand out from the more standard wagons. And that is really crisply and neatly done. I have to say, I'm really blown away with the detail on this. The livery application is crisp and clean. So we've got the lettering, everything is present and correct and really nicely done. There is a little bit of bleed over of the black there, almost like a smudge along the bottom. But you know, on the full-size wagons, they wouldn't have been pristine perfect. They were probably just slapped a coat of paint on some guy with a brush and a tin. So actually, I'm gonna let that one slide. The roof itself for this model, we've got the rain strips with the rivets all nicely done, and again these strips above each door. But this is removable, so if I pull that out, you can see that the roof comes away, and that allows you to weight the interior. You can fill it up with something like lead sheet, something like that, if you want an additional bit of weight to these wagons. But it has to be said that these wagons are fairly weighty all on their own. I'm just trying to get the roof back in there. If you're worried about the roof popping out whilst it's being used, you could always put a little bit of glue in there. But the weight of these base wagons, they are actually reasonably heavy, so they will follow the track quite nicely without risking derailing. And actually, if you've got money to burn, then it's very easy to ballast one of these with something else, and you'd never know it was in there. They come fitted with standard with these 3-disc hole metal wheels, and again quite heavy wheel sets here, which adds to the low down weight that aids the rail holding abilities of these wagons. So pretty free running. The wagon itself, the base it's not sprung, but I don't think it needs to be. It does actually sit fairly square on the track. It's actually mounted on this side with the brake. There's like a metal bar that's pivoted in the middle that the wheels fit into rather than going straight into the axle boxes. And that allows a degree of diagonal play in the wheels. And again, that would allow it to follow slightly rough track without starting to try and climb the flanges. So that is actually quite a nice touch. And you wouldn't really notice it. It doesn't detract from the appearance. That's actually quite a nice touch in there. Overall, I can't really find anything to fault with these, and I'm looking forward to building up my O-gauge collection ready for the Garden Railway. Now, I know I've always said that it's probably the kiss of death to your bank balance to start to dabble in multiple scales, and I've broken my cardinal rule by doing this, but hey, a few of these can't hurt too much, although in years to come I'll probably end up with a massive collection. But there we go, a really good addition to the O-gauge wagon fleet from Dapol, and adding some really nice variety to the ready-to-run range. Well, I hope that video has been informative to you, taking a look at these things. Sometimes it's just really nice to kind of try before you buy and get a good close look. So if it has been really helpful to you, don't forget to tickle that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. But until next time, thanks again for watching. It's really very much appreciated. And this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take really good care of yourself. And I'll see you here again next time. Bye for now. Today's video has been brought to you in part thanks to the generous donation of my fans on Patreon. And a special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Mark Anthony, Michael Churchwood, Mark McShane and Bob 310. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/JenniferKirk. Thank you.
Today's video has been brought to you by my books, Bringing Home the Stars, Twinkle Little Star, and also you can get the complete comic collections of All Over the House, Books 1, Books 2, and also the wacky zany Life of Knob T. Mouse. Thanks, and catch you later.